All right. So now we run again the same generator there, and now it should change the brokerage file instead of creating a new one. So you're generating to existing context, right? The coins brokerage context currently has 7 instructions and 1 file in the directory. It's okay to have multiple resources in the same context as long as they are closely related. They are, like, a transaction can only exist inside of an account. But if a context grows too large, consider breaking it apart. Okay, they're not closely related, another context probably works better. Yeah. The fact 2 entities are related in the database does not mean they belong to the same context. If you are not sure, prefer creating a new context over adding the existing one. Would you like to proceed? Yes. Proceed, please. So yeah, 2 files were changed, the brokerage and the brokerage test. So the account stuff were added there, and also the brokerage test stuff were added there. So cool. I think then it created this file here with the change set. Oh, sorry, really. Thank you for the sub. Really appreciate it, man. I don't even know if sorry stands for. And yeah, thanks. First, oh yeah, 1 month subscriber already. So yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for your support. It really makes it better for me, like knowing that someone appreciated so much that they spend. I mean, I know you spend on Prime, but either way, you could give your sub to someone else instead of me. So yeah, thanks so much. So oh yeah, thank you. So yeah, I created the account here. The name is required, of course. It looks okay. Also created the account live with a lot of files. The index one. Oh, there's a. What is this? Call to missing your unexported function. Router helpers. Wait, what? Sometimes dialyzer just get crazy. The accounts. Sometimes I do something like this to make sure, like at the DB level, that is also checked. I mean, but I don't mind leaving it like this too, like the one generated by default. So I'm leaving it like this for now. And yeah, so what else I should do? Oh, all right. I have to also open the quick fix here and paste this to the router, right? Otherwise I can't actually access that resource. Yeah, that's it, right? So now if I go to /accounts, which I'm gonna do mix Phoenix server. Hey Kyo Basic, welcome. Never saw you here, but yeah, for now only English. If you want, you can ask me something in Portuguese. I can also answer you in Portuguese and translate it afterwards to the other people that's watching. But yeah, I kind of decided to go in English to reach a bigger public, you know. But yeah, feel free to talk in Portuguese in there if you want to. I can answer you in Portuguese if you didn't understand something I talked in English. So continuing. All right, let me open localhost 400. Oh yeah, I suppose that because I guess that's one of the only places like from Brazil that. Oh, sorry, you're from there too. Cool. I guess like if I go to my Twitch, I guess most of you, most of the watchers are from Brazil. Mute me, please. Create a dashboard. Live, like, let me see. Channel analytics. Viewers, there's somewhere it says like the country. All right, Brazil. So 36% are from Brazil. So yeah, thanks Brazilians. I love you. I mean, I just don't do both in English and Portuguese because I think it's really a lot of trouble to actually translate your own content, you know. So, but yeah, random migrations here. But the thing is, I would also love to do some content in Portuguese in the future to make it more reachable. So yeah, new account. Let me save, it can be blank, blah blah. Right. Edit. Delete. Yeah, perfect. Everything working. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ditch this thing out of here and add some links in here to transactions and accounts. Yeah, let me see. How can I do that? The files are on. Let me delete these files here. MD. Yes. These are empty folders. I had like an old project and I created the project on top of it again, so that I messed up in the really, I guess it was the first line. Do you consider yourself in which level of expertise? Well, I do Elixir for more than 5 years already, so at least advanced. Like some of my lives I do even contribute to some open source projects. Even like the last one I did was on the last pull request was this one, like on Elixir core. So I do consider myself an expert for that reason. So oh cool, 3 months. Yeah, I remember when I was 3 months old with Elixir, and it's pretty amazing actually how much you can learn in 3 months with Elixir. I feel like the learning curve is really very good in Elixir. Like documentation is really awesome and there's lots of books, and I did started just going to Elixir Lang and clicking here on guides and going through this course. Not sure if you ever did this, like read through all these topics here. It's pretty cool and you get really far just with this already. So that's a tip for you. There's also Elixir School, elixirschool.com. They have content in Portuguese too. Then it's pretty much almost the same as the guides there, except they have a little bit more stuff like Ecto stuff or specific libs like plug, EEX, ETS, Mnesia, how to debug, and in Portuguese too. So yeah. Yeah, this was the last thing I did. I studied Elixir and finished for about 1 month, and then I moved to another company as backend developer junior. With Elixir, you mean? Like, because that's pretty impressive. Like, it's not a lot of people actually hiring for junior developers. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, man. In Brazil, are you both in Brazil? Are you both on the same company, actually? Because it looks pretty similar. But yeah, that's very cool. It was kind of same for me. Actually, I did like this fun project in Elixir. I studied it for 1 month or so, and I really fell in love with it, and I wanted to work with it. And by that time, I was working for Atelierware, which is a software house here in Curitiba, and they were really open to actually trying new stuff. Although Elixir was not really new back then, it was like 1.3 already, right? So it's past 1.0, which should be stable. Just the same person. Oh, that's cool. Thank you, thank you. So Kyo Basic, as you are the same person than Zori, can you also give me a Prime subscription? Just kidding. But yeah, no. Again, thank you, Zori. Thank you so much. Um, but yeah, I kind of convinced them to use Elixir on one of our projects. Yeah, Durgan. Oh, Durgan, you're back. So yeah, thank you for watching. I see that you also do a lot of contributions to Elixir and loved your contributions to the code module recently. So yeah, thanks for that. I think the future, in the future, that's gonna help a lot with Elixir LS and stuff. So I'm looking for stuff. I think that's the same Dorgan, yeah, isn't? Yeah, it's the same person. And I can't close it because it's too small. So yeah, yeah, it's it's pretty cool how Elixir people are welcoming everywhere, like on Discord, on Elixir forum, and there are some people, I guess Dorgan is one of them, that are like they feel like omnipresent. They are everywhere answering people, so it's kind of cool. And it's also kind of cool that these people also do contribute a lot, you know? Like they, so I'm glad it's useful. It's my first contribution to Elixir, other than little doc fixes. You always start with little doc fixes, right? It's always the first contributions. So, but that's a pretty nice contribution. I mean, I took a long time before actually doing a meaningful contribution. I guess the first meaningful contribution I had to Elixir, the core, was the path auto completion that I did in one of the past live streams. I guess you were here, right, Dorgan? So, all right, continuing, like the accounts resource is created. I guess let's commit that then. Oh, I thought I did delete this before. I did introduce it again. Like, oops. See, removing files from old project mistakenly introduced. Right, okay. And then in here, count live, the migration, the live tests, and the changes to the brokerage stuff. And yeah, it was pretty fun actually. I remember again, I guess there were some stuff that I was doing with meta programming also in one of those lives. And it was fun because right after I finished my live, you publicized a really big post about meta programming. I guess it was about meta programming. I don't remember really well. Sorry, it was on Stone. Sure. Yeah, the AST, yeah. Accounts resource was created. And now let's add one new field to the ectogen migration. Let's add account ID to transactions. Add account ID to transactions. Alter table transactions do end. There's actually one thing that's really making me nuts that I have configured and I want to unconfigure on COC Vim. When I hit enter, actually CR, carriage return, yeah, this one, because I had configured to, like, when the COC autocompletion opens and I hit enter, even if I don't have any of the autocompletion selected, it actually autocomplete to automatically to that the first occurrence, and I didn't like that anymore. So Victor Espindola, what does editor are you using? Yeah, Vim, not NeoVim, it's just Vim. I have to actually migrate to NeoVim. I heard it's better, but I'm just too lazy. Like, there's lots of configuration that I don't know if it's gonna work there. But yeah, these days one of the contributions to NeoVim actually sent he was doing live streams, and he actually sent out of nowhere 120 people to actually watch my live stream because I was using Vim. So I was like, oh my god, that's a lot of people. But yeah, that's Vim. I love it. Like, modal editing, I'm never going back to the previous way I'd done stuff. Don't autocomplete to with CR. And let me make file, actually just, I guess, make back here. Let me start obsession to actually reopen the same file. Yeah, let me try out the same thing. Do enter. Yes, that's it. And yeah, Vim is perfect in my opinion. Like, it doesn't take much memory out of your computer, and once you get the ways it work, it's just perfect. I think the way to actually add, oops, not command V, command, okay, let me enter, yeah, add account ID. I don't remember the how it works. IX minus S mix. I know it's something like references, but I'm not sure. So ecto.migration.references. So yeah, group ID, references, and the name of a table. Transactions. Not sure if that's gonna work with an atom too, but, and new false, just in case. Dispatch mix ecto migrate, just to test it. And yeah, all right. Yeah, I can't actually add it as new false. I actually can because I never deployed it. I can just drop my, yeah, I'm using tmux too here. So, but I also use Vim Dispatch. Not sure if you're aware of this Vim plugin here. So dispatch actually, it's pretty much the same as calling bang and calling the mix something. But instead of actually starting a new process to then hit enter and go back to VI, it starts the process on another tmux pane here. So I use like this, and it starts in here. When I hit Command C, it goes back to Vim, and the output of that is printed to the quick fix. So here's the output of, so I can actually do IX mix, and actually, is it mix run? There's a way to actually send, let me see, is it like this? No. There's a way to actually send content to like the Elixir code to run. Run out, I can send -e, so I can send something like mix run -e, and then put, yeah, that's it, and put like koins koins, and that's gonna print it to the quick fix. So that's pretty cool. Let go, but mix run, the H didn't work because I was not on IX. H is only available on IX, I guess. I'm thinking I'm gonna put the new files. I also want to create index. Is it index? Yeah, index, the name of the table, columns. All right, so transactions, and the column account ID. Perfect. Right? Because you always want to create index to stuff that you're gonna query a lot. Actually going to do an alias for that. Oh, there is an alias for that already. Mix acto reset. Didn't know that was the default already. That's cool. I remember having to actually do this manually to create this acto reset and acto setup. Why did my Alacrity close? I actually think I closed it by mistake. tmux. That's the good part of tmux. I didn't lose it. Not sure. Another session. I see why now. Yeah, probably EOS. Hey Emidio, hey, thanks for watching, man. Yeah, Curitiba is pretty cool in both sense, like in the temperature sense and the cool sense of the word cool. But yeah, that's how's it going? How are your lives going? Welcome to the channel, by the way. So yeah, for those who don't know, Emidio is another Brazilian that has this channel, and he's doing live streams also, like I guess it's pretty much every day, right, man? Cool blood, man. And the best city of Brazil. Yeah, I also agree with that. I'm from a little bit more south, actually, from Blumenau, and I never going back there, I guess, because the climate there is just hell in summer. And I really hate hot weather. So yeah, the account ID, Sector reset. Desk does not exist. What? Rename desk to nodes. Yeah, that was the problem. I did actually messed up a node migration. I did rename the desk field to nodes, and then I forgot to actually leave it desk on the first migration, right? I guess now you're good. Mix Phoenix server and localhost. Oh, try to do Tuesday to Thursday. So the other days I'll try to do something. Cool. When the normal life comes back, I'll make 2-3 days only. Yeah, cool. So everyone go there and follow Emidio. He's a pretty cool guy, and I guess he lives on Ireland, right, Emidio? We should do like this a crossover sometime, right? Like I can talk about Elixir on your live, and you can talk about whatever you're doing on my live stream. You use mainly JS, or is it other stuff too? You mean Victor? Do you mean me or Emidio? I try to do at least once a week, like on Fridays, because I actually have another full-time work, right? So, oh, cool, yeah, Node and Python. All right, yeah, I do fixed for sure Friday afternoon, like this one today. I'm going to do like this project for a little while, koins project, and maybe on the middle of the week, 2 more lives, but those are totally random and random timing, random, because it depends on actually getting some open source issue to actually work on, because that's the other thing I do during lives, the open source contributions. So yeah, let's continue. I added the account ID to the transactions table. I have to go to transaction here and add the belongs to. The name is account, and the name of the actual module is brokerage account, right? That's how it is, right? Yeah, the queryable. Okay, and I also want to accept the account ID in here. Let me put in the beginning because it's actually one of the most important stuff. And it's required. And yeah, this way we added the account ID to the transaction, and it's going to be required. So on brokerage, when creating transaction, what I want to do is I'm gonna accept the account ID on the attributes here. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna send you for sure. I'm gonna send you a whisper there. Like we can arrange a collab someday. That would be awesome. I mean, I would love to spread the word of Elixirs on every channel because I really love Elixir. And yeah, for sure you can come here and talk about Node and Python. We can compare stuff. I know there are very cool stuff with machine learning in Python. Not sure if you're into it though. I'm not that into it, but I want to actually learn a little bit, because not sure if you heard about, but there's this new project GitHub Elixir NX. Guess NX, yeah, NX, which stands for numerical elixir. So they're pretty much doing NumPy for Elixir. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's super cool and super difficult actually to reason about stuff, like to know how the calculations are done. But I know that it's really simplified by this other lib Axon here, Axon, that like is neural networks for Elixir. There's a very big API and they are growing it very fast. So they even created this project Livebook. Not sure if you heard about it. It's pretty cool. Like it's you can create this kind of markdown with live Elixir that gets executed sequentially. So it's super nice. That'd be super nice to watch live coding with NX and Exxon. Yeah, that would be super cool. But if it was me doing it, you probably actually see me learning what is ML in the first place instead of actually getting something done. But yeah, that's something I can do on live stream. So I was gonna comment. Some people do stuff like on create transaction. It actually doesn't make sense to create a transaction without the account ID. So sometimes people actually do this, for example, right? So, and then they actually create the transaction, undo create transaction, they create like this account ID, or something like this. But I'm going to go with the default way, like most people are doing. There are some posts about it on, I guess, Sasha Juric, Medium here. By the way, this guy is really smart. Yeah, towards maintainable Elixir. That's the sequence of posts that he talks about how to organize Elixir projects to make it more maintainable. And one of the things he talked about, I guess it's on the core and interface, is to actually, for example, normally when you do a register, if you use the generators, these two arguments are going to be a map attributes, right? But it actually doesn't make sense. You could actually have both fields in here as plain like this instead of this, you know. And he actually argues here why that's good and why you should actually do it like that instead the other way. I'm not getting into that much, but I really want to apply that in here in the future. So continuing, so I'm creating or updating, I'm gonna send the account ID. How I'm gonna send the account ID? On the web part, on the live view, the transaction live, on the form component, I'm gonna add a new field, select account ID, right? So this select the options. I really don't remember what are the options. Yeah. What are the options? Phoenix.html.form.select. Do you guys use this age function that much? Like I started using it more right now with the lives, because what I used to do is like, here go to hex docs Phoenix HTML, you know. But now I'm getting used to actually doing it on IEX more, and I'm liking it a lot actually. So the options, are expected to be enumerable, which will be used to generate each respective option. The enumerable may have keywords list. Each keyword list is expected to have the keys key and value. Additional keys such as disabled. Two item tuples where the first element is an atom, string, or integer to be used as the option label. And the second element is an atom, string, or integer to be used as the option value. So I guess I'm going to be using the two item tuple. Oops. ID, and then in here I'm going to put the accounts options, right? And in the live view, I guess it's in the index live view. Oh no, actually form component. Yeah, in here. So I can assign assigns. In here, I'm going to assign the, what's the name I gave it? Just forgot. Accounts option, account options. Account options, account options equals brokerage list accounts, and I'm going to send as 4 options for select. Or actually, let me do it this way, because for select should be better, should be brokerage here, because then on list accounts, if I do this opts, oh, actually select options, 4 options or something like that. So this is something I do quite frequently. You're gonna see. So I do build query, build account query, fp build accounts query, and if it's empty, it's gonna, I give the queryable first. If it's empty, I'm gonna return the plain query. But if there is something, oops, Q, if there is something, and this something is select 4 options, and there's a rest, I do Q select, what's the accounts, so A. The first one is the ID. No, the first one was the label, right? Two item tuples. The first is atom integer to be used as the label. So the first one is the name. Here, a dot name and a dot ID. In here, I do build accounts query, the rest. So this is a way to actually make the options here. I can send options to the function list accounts, a list of options, and to actually build the query kind of syntax error before select. What's the syntax error? Anonymous function in kernel prologue. Not sure what they're talking about. 164. Oh, I see now. It's this select, not this one. All right. Build accounts query, opts. Yeah, that's it. And this basically, I can go through a list of options and kind of compose the query by this list of options. Like sometimes I do like this filter or like by, I don't know, user and the user ID. So to accept that, then I just have to do something like this, by user, matching here by user, no. So that's more composable, and I don't expose the actual query language to the outside world, and I do limit what are the options for querying also, right? But also they are composable in a way, in a certain way for the outside world too. So select for options here is gonna just return the name and ID. So that's going to be the only stuff queried in the DB, right? So account options. So let me create two B and let me go to, where is it? Here. Transactions. All right, it works. Just not sure why it's so small, but I don't mind. I mean, not really not focusing on the UI UX for these first iterations, at least. And right, it has to be on an account. A transaction always happens in an account, right? You can't transact something out of an account because your wallet is going to be an account. That's the idea. All right. So I guess that's it for the accounts. Let me see. I did create the link. I did create the list. The migrations there, the filter in the list, like the actual select. I accept the account ID there. I do require it also. Yeah, I can't actually select none here to actually test, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Some tests are going to fail, and I'm sure of that because I added a new field, a new required field, and I didn't update the old tests, right? So list accounts. The select is added there. This is a node thing that I forgot to change, right? And the format. So see, adding account ID to transactions. All right, and now I'm going to open a pull request with that accounts, close this, hashtag accounts, the issue, create pull request, and I removed a lot of stuff that was basically old stuff I forgot to remove before. I thought I removed actually on my previous live. This is an old version of I was testing with Swift and iOS development. I did mess up when creating the project. That happens a lot, right? I mean, or is it just me? Oh, also, sorry, my intention is actually to try to apply ML to this uh, product, to this project. Not sure how, but I can see like how we could use ML to maybe discover trends or stuff. I don't know. Like to discover, hey, you're going bad on this kind of assets, like maybe you should rethink this, or they never gave you a good return, you know, so that would be nice. All right, added a lot of methods there to decode operations, create, read, to get the list, the account. I added the accounts to the transaction and the account ID to the change set, the form component to the account live. So I didn't change anything. For that live view, I'm not going to add support for the broadcasting that I did on transactions, because on transactions there's this thing. Let me try something here. Oops. If I go to transactions here and I open another, I did implement live sync, which is pretty easy. I got really surprised how easy it is to do that on live view. Like, did you see that? It just got updated automatically here. And if I delete the query here, gets updated there. It should. It didn't get even here because I did cancel, right? No, it's failing for some reason. Stop this constraint. So yeah. What is happening? I'm constraint error. When attempting to delete struct, if you would like to stop this constraint. Alright, the foreign key there is saying, hey, you can't delete it because, why? Because, oh, that one doesn't actually have the account ID, or does it? Or is it trying to delete the account ID with it? Is it? What's the default? Acto.migration.references. I know the options to undelete are here. I undelete. The options are nothing, delete all, nullify all, and restrict. So nothing. Yeah, that's going to be the, and that's what should happen actually. No. Wait. Actually, but hey, I'm actually deleting the transaction. That's strange. Like, why is the foreign key failing in that case? Like, normally it would fail if I try to delete the account, right? And it still has transactions to it. Or am I trying to delete the account actually for some reason, for some crazy reason? So last message, socket event. Paid event, delete, type click, value ID1, which is this one. That's pretty strange. Let me try to debug that. The transaction live, not the form component, the index component, delete. All right, the transaction index. It gets the transaction, it deletes the transaction. So I'm guessing here's the place that's that the problem is happening, right? Let me see, transaction live, index 43. Yeah. Brokerage. I think there's here. Delete transaction. Oh, delete transaction. Should delete. Like transaction belongs to brokerage account. That's crazy. Did you ever see this? Like on the child, when I try to delete it, it's failing with the, oops, here. Transactions account ID F key. Let me check on Postgres. What's the koins dev? And /d transactions. So transactions account ID, foreign key down account ID, reference transactions ID. Yeah, I mean, nothing says, hey, on delete something. That's pretty interesting. Never saw that happening. Also, one other thing I realized is that I'm not printing index on the transaction live index. Should be printing the account name here, right? So account transaction account name. And to actually print the account name, on the index here, I have to, oops, the transaction index, action index here. I have to, on list transactions, preload, and I'm gonna preload the account. I think I have to send it as a list because there's gonna be other resources that. So on brokerage, list transactions, here I also am going to accept the opts with the default value, and I'm going to build transactions query. Build transactions query. If it's empty, return the query. If it's not empty, but it has a preload and reload, just do reload. Let me just put as value, and then build the transactions query. Let me right? And I have to send the rest. Right? I have to send the ops. All right. So this way it's gonna show the transaction, the account here. So if I try to delete, it's going to still have the problem on deletion. But at least now we're showing the account. What's happening? Constraint to errors. So what's the delete argument here? Transactions where ID equals 1. There's no other. I mean, I set is it a no false? I mean, I'm deleting the thing. The new false is about, it's another constraint. It's a check constraint, right? It's a not null on the field. I mean, it doesn't hurt to actually test. Mix to reset. And then restart server. All right. Okay. I first have to create the accounts. A and B. Right. Then I go back to the transactions. 1, 2. And let me try to delete. Yeah, it was not no false. So that's out of question. Let me check the documentation for transaction, the references. Acto migration references. Maybe there's more information here. So group ID integer, a composite foreign key that points to categories product ID, group ID. Oh, that's a is it because I used an atom? There is no spec. Defines a foreign key. By default, it assumes that you're linking the reference table via its primary key with the name ID. If you're using non-default keys set up using UUID type keys, you must ensure you set the options, such as name and type, to match your target key. So name, the column, the prefix, it's not name and type that you have to actually set, it's column and type. Anyway, what time is it? On delete nothing, on update nothing, validate whether or not to validate foreign key constraint on creation or not. Doesn't mind. Wave defines additional match, select to match simple, partial, full. But or did it change? It couldn't actually. it should actually be doing nothing anyway. Like, what if I go here and open localhost accounts, not the new one, and delete the A, which has 2. And in here it works. So here it should nullify everything. Like, right? That's wrong too. I mean, like, it should delete all, right? So when deleting on the account, we should be deleting all the transactions inside that account too. So I'm going to use on delete all for that references option. Delete all. But I'm quite sure that's not a problem. Mix acto.rollback, mix acto.migrate. Let me close here. Acto reset, because the DB was just on a bad state. All right, servers here, create the accounts A and B, and let me update here. Transactions A11, B22, updates here too. So all right, if I try to delete now the A option, so the nothing option is just crazy. Anyway, now it's working. So, and if I delete the B here, it should delete both here, but as they were deleted on the DB level, like the thing that actually deleted the thing, it wasn't nullified. It shouldn't. It should delete all. What's the catch now? Here. On delete all. Let me PSQL it again. Oops. And the transactions table. So the foreign key, delete cascade, you should have deleted it. My DB is just crazy, or is it my impression? EG12. There's always, the problem is always the DB, right? Referenced by constraints, account ID, foreign key, account ID, reference, transaction ID on delete cascade. So, and what about the accounts table? There is an English section in the account ID, and the accounts table has nothing. So it should delete cascade delete the transactions when I delete the account. Not sure what's happening. You guys have any idea what's the catch here? Because I'm clueless right now. Wait, what? All right, IEX. I'm going to add some seeds. Brokerage count cash and name Bank of Brazil, because I'm from here. Repo.insert now the transactions. Let me just transaction. I have to set the account ID. A1, A2, A1, and amount 1, A2, actually 1 means 100, and 200. So let me again reset the thing here. Oops. Like to reset Phoenix server. Now should load. Wait. What? Why is it not inserting the? Never mind. Discovered. Exec to reset. Phoenix server. Perfect. All right. So what was the problem now? All right. If I delete Bank of Brazil here, it should delete all the Bank of Brazils. And I do refresh here, and it doesn't. Why doesn't it? Like when I did delete the Bank of Brazil, from accounts of Brazil, all right, select. Yeah, that's the one that failed. That's the one in here, it actually deleted it. So that's okay. That's not sure why it's red, but it did delete, right? I'm gonna refresh it in here. All right, Stack Overflow, accept your cookies. Oh, all right. No, I do want this one. References on delete, delete all. Please tell me it's not because I did type it wrong. On delete, delete all. Let's not insist on calling it as an atom and put it as a string and try it out. if that's the reason, I'm surely gonna open an issue on Acto. Like, no, it shouldn't be. Really shouldn't be. Delete. Okay. No. Oof. It's not Acto's fault. In here they say, you can do it, you specify a schema using. However, you may be better doing this on migration with the references to. This will use to the base foreign key constraint as is mentioned in has many docs. You can change the existing index with drop if exists. Figure out. On the has many, you can pass it only option so the has many looks like this. I don't want to do it on the has many because I don't want to have a has many in there. I mean, I could do it, but why isn't the DB level not doing that? Like, of course I can actually do in here has many transactions, coins, brokerage transaction, on delete all, right? So that's gonna work. Problem that's gonna make it work probably. Problem that's not DB level deletion. That's gonna get deleted by Elixir and Phoenix. 3 viewers. That's gonna get deleted by Elixir and Phoenix. Nice. So here, if I delete in here, it should now delete, right? So if I do that on the has many, Elixir is going to guarantee that that's going to be deleted because the has many has that configured. But I mean, is that using the delete? See what I mean? Like it does another delete from blah blah blah. So Postgres cascade deletion is not triggered. So delete not firing trigger, not the case, it's not working. Like what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the DB again, and I'm going to execute just this command here on PSQL koins dev. So ID equals 2, right? So, but first I'm gonna select wait, what? One row? Oh, forgot this. All right. So, and I'm going to select also from transactions where account ID equals 2, right? And then I'm going to delete from accounts, and I'm going to, so it keeps the register even though there is on transactions the transactions account ID foreign key which reference I'm not saying that if I don't say it doesn't become real. All right. Man, that's really? How much time did I spend on that? I really don't want to count that, but I do want. I want to clip that. I'm going to delete the has many here to prove you that now it works on the DB level, right? Delete Bank of Brazil and it deleted. Not sure if you got the problem, what it was, but basically in here I was referencing the transactions table, not the accounts. That's it. And right, I'm gonna update because I have some time. I'm going to update the transaction, the tests actually, all the tests. So yeah, there are 16 tests failing. First things first, mix compile, actually mix format. Cascade deletion and showing the account's name on transaction. All right, let's fix it. Brokerage test. All right. So the transaction fixture actually depends on the accounts fixture. So from 16 tests, oops, mix test failed. Right, from the 16 that were failing it, now only 11 fail. Let me see, another thing I need to check is here. Validity 2 years. Is it possible to do that? Because then I don't need to do this. Account ID, account dot ID. Like mix test failed. I can't make that work out. I think I need to move the account fixture to before that because it needs to be compiled. If I move it here, then I think it's available. But then the problem is sometimes it's really a pain in the ass too. So brokerage dot create account name. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm gonna need to do that on setup, I guess. The ownership for the process. Oh, right. Yeah, because that's on compilation. Never mind. So I'm gonna need to create the valid attributes. Function that takes the account fixture and puts this oops, wrong keys. Yeah. Attributes, valid attributes, right? Yeah. All right, valid attributes, valid. And I'm going to call it valid attributes like that. And I'm going to do the same to the dev update attributes. But what I'm going to do is call it put count. Socks. And I give the attributes and the association. No, I actually give the default attributes and the attributes. And in here I do this, and here this the default. So valid attributes is just to put a socks of valid attributes and attributes. And in here just replace valid for update, and that's it. Invalid doesn't matter. Update. Okay. Mixed test failed. All the 11 tests that we're failing before are failing right now again. So first, let's do the transaction live test. Oh, that's the same probably. Here, yeah, the same. I really want to actually what was the name of that test? Brokerage test. So instead of valid is create, or valid create. All right, compilation issues and account fixture. All right, so brokerage dot create account name. Still failing, because why? All right, valid attribute. So it's going to build the transaction for here, right? So here it's failing here, right? 62. So why? All right, main. Yeah, not sure if I'm going to be able to finish it today, the tests. Oh, account live test apples hashtag 39. Yeah, mixed test failed. Right, now only 8 failed. Transaction amount transaction amount. Oops, where is it? Is it on the brokerage test? Mm-hmm. 86 6. You attempt to apply ID on OK account. All right. So that's on which test? Transaction live test. And here. OK account. All 6 should go away. No, so just 2. 2 by 2. All right. Transaction account ID. Wait, what? How is it testing that? Is it on transaction live test? 58. Transaction live test 58 on the render submit. Interesting. Right. Value for select must be 1 of 95. Got 96. Interesting. Why? Oh. Fixture. Create transaction. Yeah, I see. Account equals. Actually, here. And right, just need to put new. Created the tiers. That's not a very nice test. Like, yeah, the create. that's the way. Account. Account. At least one should be fixed. No. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. I mean, yeah, tests is finally something I need to study a little bit more on live view. It looks like it checks on render submit here, it checks the values or the fields that I send on the create attributes here. So that's why I actually need to check it first to then actually send. But yeah, by the way, Conrad WT29, thanks for following, man. Thank you. Sorry, I was kind of silent during the last couple minutes because I was like, really, how does testing works with this? I mean, yeah. I mean, it's probably not as hard as I'm thinking it's going. You know, once you break your flow. No, yeah. Sure. You can talk whenever you want. Like, I'm just not sure I'm gonna answer right after. But anyway, I have to finish my live streaming in 5 minutes. I'm just. What is the update? 83s. Attributes. Right. I see. So I want to match the account here too. Update attributes account. Doesn't mind. I mean, I don't want to actually update the attributes first. Or I could, like, before doing everything, I could okay account. Account here, right? Because then when I render it, it's going to, oops, update account. So now it should go. You didn't update attributes. I did write it. All right. Same. These tests are very repetitive, but yeah, tests are, I suppose tests are supposed to be that way. Oh, all right. Only one failure. And that one failure expected a function, got a map on live view update. No, actually, expected a function, got a map. Phoenix live view update. Transaction live index 66. Transaction live index 66. Oh, all right. Transaction here is unused because it lists everything again. If it lists everything again, I can actually get the delta. Anyways, never mind that. Oh, that's another thing. So brokerage? No, actually there is a list transactions with one. It's just crazy, right? Handle info from assign. That's it. Yeah, the test actually got an error. The fixing the tests. Yeah, that's good. It's good. We can call it a day then. So yeah, cool. Thanks everyone. Thanks Conrad. Sorry he joined a little bit late and I have to go like minutes after he joined. But yeah, thanks Zori. Thanks for the sub. Thanks Emidio for showing up in the middle of a live stream. Hopefully someday my live stream is gonna get as famous as yours. I mean, it's pretty impressive how yours it grow like really quick from 0 to 400 in around 400 followers in around 3 months. So that's impressive. And yeah, thanks Dorgan for being out there, Victor for following, Kio Basic for following, and yeah, thank you so much. Next time I'm going to actually do stuff on coins is going to be next Friday, so keep tuned. And yeah, see you guys. Let me just try to check if someone is live right now. Maybe even immediately is live, so I can raid. Oh, there's this guy. I'm gonna send you to him. Prime. Not sure if you know him. He's pretty famous. He's I guess he works for Netflix or something. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Or actually, yeah, TJ. I'm gonna send you to TJ because he sent me some people back in the day. So I'm gonna send you there. TJDV. So see you. Bye bye. Let's chat there on TJ stream.